and welcome to the 5th annual Hersey Gingerbuild. I'm Carmen Beidelman. I will be emceeing for you today. The Gingerbuild is a Hersey fundraiser that was started 5 years ago when teacher Jim Mix partnered up with the Soldier's Journey Home to help raise awareness and funds to build a wounded veterans a debt-free home. For 4 years, we worked with the Soldier's Journey Home, helping raise funds to build 4 houses in 4 different states for 4 wounded soldiers. This year, Hersey partnered with Folds of Honor. Folds of Honor moves our fundraising initiative and our goal from building homes to building hope. We move to education and to better life for families of the fallen and wounded. For more on Folds of Honor, let's check out one of their videos.
There's a term I love in life, synchronicity. I define that as chance with a purpose. And one fateful night, my life would change forever. I was flying from Chicago here to Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was United Flight 664. Finally get on this airplane, I walk through first class, and I see this kid. He catches me off guard because he's a corporal sitting in dress army greens. And I go sit in coach, and about an hour and a half or so later, we land in Grand Rapids, Michigan. As we pull up to the gate, the captain comes over, the PA, and says that we have an American hero on board. And my mind immediately jumps to this kid in first class, right? And I was like, what did he do? I'd just gotten back from my second tour of duty in Iraq, flying the F-16, and he continues, the captain, by informing us that we are carrying the remains of Corporal Brock Buckland on this flight. And his identical twin brother, Corporal Brad Buckland, was in first class and has brought him those 7,000 miles home. Captain makes another request that everybody stay in their seats until his remains are removed from the right cargo hold. And that night I watched The Other Side of War. As I looked out on the tarmac, the Bucklands on the darkest night of their lives. The thing that really got me, though, was his 4-year-old son. Sat right below the cargo ramp as that American flag draped coffin inched out. And the finality of the sacrifice hit me. The realities that this young boy would never play catch with his dad again. He would never be tucked in at night. And that term, freedom isn't free, didn't mean anything until I witnessed that. And as the ceremony finishes itself up, you know, I wipe away my tears, right, and I grab my backpack and I look back to the airplane, only to see that more than half the plane had gotten off. No place to go, except that blanket of freedom we'll all sleep under each and every night, courtesy of 1% of this country that suits up every day, willing to defend and pay the ultimate sacrifice for the other 99%. And that was my moment of synchronicity. I knew with every fiber of my being that God had called me on a mission.
Never forget me. And that struck my heart as something really cool, to think that your community would come together for it. And we would, man, because you're a good dude. And another thing, you look at the idea of home builds. We have some people here who have been a part of building homes. The IBEW Local 21, some of these guys over here have been a part of putting these houses together for us, for the soldiers, for Tony Chokonoff, for Eric Morante. They drove to Texas, doing an unbelievable, special round of applause for them. The houses are quality because of guys like these. We also want to thank Folds of Honor. Folds of Honor, we are supporting them financially this year, because this year the money from this is going to scholarships for those for the fallen. Families, people who don't come home. This year we're going to think about them and give special respect to them. But the biggest honors tonight go to the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 311. Without these guys, none of these organizations that are out there right now would exist. Big round of applause for these guys. They've been speaking in classes for years, educating about the history of the Vietnam War. And they are the essence of patriotism, and we thank them. That said, we are about ready to go. Start looking for rivals in sport, partners in purpose, because we're going to challenge Prospect and have some fun with that. Again, special thanks to all. Mrs. Monahan did a lot of this, and this place wouldn't happen without her. I can't thank everybody, but I'll tell you what, I got to thank her. And TJ Ricker and MCQ. And Mr. Vesper and Mr. DePiro. That said, let's rock this sucker.
How about a round of applause for the mastermind, Mr. Jim Mix, too, everybody? All right, folks, in the spirit of the Gingerbuild, we would like you to start assembling, preparing. One friendly reminder throughout the evening. About 20 or so plus staff hang out after for about an hour to pick up the chaos in here. So try your best to be as clean as possible while having as much fun as possible. Gingerbuild starts T-minus 4 minutes. Guess what? In the spirit of it again, we're going to go ahead and get started. When DJ Ricker starts the music, start building! Just a quick reminder today, while you're all having fun building your gingerbread houses, tonight's judges will, in fact, be the Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 311. So, if you notice a veteran swinging around your Gingerbuild, it's because they're judging its work. started here. We have in the northwest corner of the gymnasium, not one, not two, not three, yes, 4 football gingerbread houses being built. They usually fall apart 45 minutes into the contest. Let's hope that doesn't happen this year. Over on the west side of the Carter Gym, we have Hersey Super Buddies. Along with the SOS, we have, looks like almost 10 to a dozen gingerbread houses being built on the west side of the Carter Gym. If we make our way to the south side of the gymnasium, we have a wide diversity of different staff, students, and families building gingerbread houses. We have some of Hersey's finest educators' children building houses of their own as well. If you make your way over to the east side of the Carter Gym, we have some more Hersey families. We got the neighbors. We got the
2018 Hersey Gingerbuild is just getting started as the team scrambles to put together the base of those homes.
Right
But
here,
now we're going to go to a video from
Okay. Yeah, I have this sheet. So are you not? Because what does she mean by like? So she recaps the tweets all last, and then this just like goes right away. And then it's them for Okay.
Yeah, so we have, and then you have the mix change in,
Yeah, I have that.
and that's really it for us. We have those two.
And then mix and then black. Okay.
I first laid eyes on Sean when I was in high school. So we just passed it crossing, but we didn't meet until college. He asked me to go mountain biking one day. That's kind of it. Sean wanted to be a pilot. Sean flew the CH-53, which is the biggest helicopter or has. It's a heavy lift, so the squadron hat chose a Pegasus on it. They were known as Pegasus. We called flying it, we called it monkey skills because it takes you through legs and arms and brain. We have a mug, it says helicopters don't fly, they build their own assumption. I have 4 kids, Tristan, Ken,
And Mark's probably going to be about that black one right there. I'll tell you his mix.
Sean played guitar.
I'll tell you his mix.
It's more musical.
But about the black last year.
Okay. And then.
Let it go.
Okay. So stay right there, and then should I like introduce myself, or should I just go straight into like reading the statement, or should I ask?
They'll probably say, all right, we'll go to Natalie now.
Yeah,
so you
okay.
can just like start interviewing. So
Okay.
have a conversation with them. Really. This is my first one too. So this is my first one too.
He asked me like yesterday. He's like, so we don't really have any. I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. Okay.
But yeah, we'll have fun with it. You know?
Yeah. So just have a conversation with him.
Yeah. So we mess up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that big a deal.
First laid eyes on Sean.
Yeah, sure. There's so much going on too.
So we just passed back crossing, but we didn't meet until junior year of college. He asked me to go mountain biking one day. A month later, we went to Sean wanted to be a pilot.
I don't know where. I don't even see him.
I got.
Sean flew the CH-53 helicopter, which is the biggest helicopter or has. It's a heavy lift, so the squadron hat chose a Pegasus on it. They were known as Pegasus. We called flying it, we called it monkey skills because it takes your whole, legs and arms and brain and everything. We have a mug, it says helicopters don't fly, they beat the air in this mission. So 53 definitely. I have 4 kids, Tristan, Kenna, Kate. The kids are all interested in music. Sean played guitar. It's more musical than I would artistic Sean left and played after me.
Do you want me to
It was
hold
a
this?
routine night training mission. 2 helicopters, 4 pilots, 12 million just before midnight. to help us collide over the North Shore.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the
No,
search
I'm
started
just gonna ask you
immediately.
random questions, okay? I don't know
Would go
what
on
I'm
for 5 days. 53 is on the island, and so my family on the mainland, they were seeing news reports of a crash because it was already on the 8 o'clock news that morning. But we were all still asleep and didn't know what was going on. And so I heard from my dad, and I knew it was Sean, and it was his flight, those 2 helicopters. And I just remember reaching over with my arm in his pillow.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to be
Tired people. I'm just gonna ask you, like,
how's it
going? Go. Testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Just go ahead. It's good?
Major Sean M. Campbell.
Sean was so kind. He wasn't your typical hard-headed, angry Marine. He was kind and soft-spoken and gentle and fun. He loved to have fun, but people just knew him as... People remember him as being so kind. Folds gave me a lifeline in Kansas City. They gave me an anchor. They gave them a community of people that love them and care for them, know their names, know their individual quirks and needs. And so they're getting everything we ever wanted for them in their education and more, and so much more. Sean and I had dreams for the kids together, living all of life together. We just did so much as a family, and that's what Folds of Honor gave us, was a way to start over and a way to honor his legacy and still give the kids those things that he wanted to give them. And so I love knowing that Sean would be so proud and so thankful for what they've been given. My name's Kelly Campbell. My husband was Major Sean Campbell.
We've got some extraordinary hosts out on the floor tonight. First off to Natalie Wozni with the first interview.
Hello, everybody. I'm here with Casper. So, who are you here with today?
I'm just here by myself, but I'm going to be mostly around the football team today. So,
How's it going? The whole.
well, I mean, this is my 4th year here, so it's pretty exciting to come here every year and see how much fun it is, and it's a great time.
Okay. Are you guys doing any special decorations or a specific design for your gingerbread house, or just kind of winging it?
So I think they're making a golf course. So they're combining both their tables and they're gonna make a big golf course. So we'll see how that goes. Most of the time it's gonna get ruined in 30 minutes. So.
Okay, so the entire football team is making one giant.
There's 4 tables, so I think 2 of them are combining and then 2 are on their own.
All right. Are we? What?
Thank you, Casper and Natalie. Good luck on your Gingerbuild tonight. Next up, we got an amazing interview with Olivia Cano.
All right, Maddie Casola wants to redeem herself. Maddie, the floor is yours. Okay. The 5-second rule does not count in the Carter Gym. If it hits the ground, don't eat it. The 5-second rule does not exist in the Carter Gym. If it hits the ground, let it be. Let it be. The Power Squad would like to give a narrative, not a jazz narrative, not a pom narrative, but more of an interpretive narrative on what their pom house is to be. and gentlemen, on the east side of the Gymnasium, we have the Lasso Squad building, it looks like a ginger village. We are in the process of building a ginger village. Lasso, tell us about your inspiration tonight in the competition. We have no inspiration. Lasso.
Viacano, and I'm here with Bill Christensen. We're good? And I am here with a proud Vietnam net for our United States. So first of all, I would just like to say thank you for all your service you've done for us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Of course. So how are you feel being at this wonderful event tonight?
This is one of the greatest things I've been to. I'd never been to a gingerbread making, and I had 4 daughters, so you know, and this is great.
Yeah, it's definitely a first experience for people who aren't used to it. But please tell us about Vietnam, about being a veteran of Vietnam. How does that feel?
Well, there's 2 ways to looking at it. You know, one way, it's your own worst enemy. It's your worst nightmare. But other than that, you know, when you're stuck in a corner and you only got cheese and milk, you make cheese. So that's what we all did the best we could while we were there.
Thank you so much. Okay. Where are you located, and what wonderful services are you continuing to provide for our local veterans that are returning home from combat?
Well, I'm the president of the Northwest Suburban Chapter of Vietnam Veterans of America. We are a veterans service organization. We help out anybody and everybody that we can. We have our own fundraisers. We used to stand on street corners and take donations and give them a hat. Now we depend on like the Taste of Arlington. We go there. There's like a hat road. The Marines, the Navy, and the Vietnam Veterans of America are there. And if they give us a donation of $10, we give them a hat of the branch of service they were in.
That's amazing.
Well, you know, people want to give. Now we're trying to expand on corporate donations, because this way, all we got to do is write a letter. You know, I mean, that's the best thing for us, because all of us are in our 70s. You know, we don't want to be walking around anymore. Parades are really starting to bother us. Oh, yeah. Some of them, we go to the displays for a trolley car, and all the guys that can't walk go in there.
Oh, and you just have a big ball in there, throwing off poppers and anything. So how does it feel to still be commended in those parades?
You know, when we first got back, nobody was talking to us. We tried joining the VFW, the American Legion, and we got shunned. They called us all sorts of names. Consequently, Vietnam Veterans of America was founded, and our logo, or our saying, is, never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. I mean, that's just how we felt. And it's going on today. So you're getting a bunch of guys together that share the same experiences you shared, and it's working out a whole lot better than being a visitor at these other organizations.
And that's incredible. And all the hardships that you faced, you were still able to push on and do everything that you do and still create something supportive.
Yeah, and we, you know, it's if we find out somebody is lacking something, we do our best to get him either help or we help him. I mean, it's just that's our motto all over again. You know, veterans helping veterans.
So, and that's amazing. So what do you think about a school like this coming together and creating for such a good cause? How does that feel to be in the witness of something like this?
I think it's great. You know, there's like a whole generation separating me from you, and it's just the fact that you kids are as enthusiastic as we once were.
I don't know if I could compare to you when you were younger. I mean, those trolley cars, I don't know, but it's incredible.
We have fun, and there's no reason being a stick in the mud, you know. If you can go out of your way to help somebody, my God, do it. You know, have more power to you, and that's basically what all the Vietnam Veterans organizations try to do.
That's amazing. So why don't you, since we have more time, why don't you tell me about some of these badges? What do they mean to you? These patches, anything. You got plenty. I'm jealous. Here, I really am. Look how. What is the one you are most proud of?
Well, it'd have to be the ones over on this side.
You showed the camera for us. We have one right here. It says Purple Heart.
Purple Heart Veteran. What's this one up here?
Purple Heart Vietnam Veteran, Combat Wounded, and Combat Veteran USA Army.
Yeah, that's Purple Heart is you have shed your own blood for your country. Now you see, a lot of people say, you know, back in the 60s, well, they weren't calling us shedding blood. They were calling us nasty names. But I saw my share. I saw my share. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Your contribution to this country is phenomenal. So thank you so much for taking your time out and talking to us.
Appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Bill and Olivia, for that wonderful interview. Now up next is Natalia and the representative from Folds of Honor.
We are so happy to have you here tonight. So would you mind sharing us a little bit about how your organization works and how veterans families benefit from everything that you guys are doing?
Yeah, sure. The Folds of Honor organization came about 11 years ago by Major Dan Rooney, who's an F-16 fighter pilot. And he was actually on a commercial airline flight from, believe it or not, Chicago O'Hare to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And as he was flying over to Grand Rapids, the pilot came on board and said that they had the remains of a Army soldier from Afghanistan on board. And he just asked everybody on board that when we land to pause getting off so that the family could accept the coffin out of the bottom of the airplane. And he happened to be sitting on the window, and although he's been an F-16 pilot, it was the first time in his life that he'd actually seen the finality of war, and the spouse and a 4-year-old son who was receiving the servicemen back from a war. And that second, about 11 years ago, he said, this is synchronicity is what he called it, chance with a purpose. It's just by chance he was on that plane, and he decided that he was going to have a purpose for the rest of his life 11 years ago to raise money for the spouses and the children of the fallen and injured, for their kids to be able to go to college and be able to have educational scholarships. So fast forward 11 years, he's given more than 20,000 scholarships over 11 years, over $100 million in donations. So it's been a fantastic organization.
So we've recently seen and heard a lot about you guys on TV and the radio, because a lot of there has been recent work in Chicago, correct?
Correct, yeah, there was a Chicago gala at Navy Pier in October, yeah.
Yeah, could you just expand on that a little bit more? Like there was a local house build in Chicago?
Johnsburg, yeah, there was a local house build up in Johnsburg. It's become a very, it started out really with the PGA Golf Tour, and a lot of the PGA, Jack Nicklaus and a lot of the folks on the PGA Tour first really delved into it and sponsored a lot of golf charity fundraising. And it's morphed into a lot of different areas. You got Big and Rich and country music that like to do a lot of things with the Folds of Honor. You have Post Malone, who gave away a Bentley a couple of weeks ago through a raffle process and fundraising. And so everything from a world-renowned rapper to country music to golf. And here we are at Hersey High School, getting the local community involved. So ultimately, it's really giving back to the folks that sacrificed for us and to educate their legacy.
So can you tell us how the partnership with Hersey happened, and what do you think about tonight's event?
Yeah, the John Camardella, who happens to be the head basketball coach at Prospect High School, I've known for a long time. And my oldest boy, Joe, got married in July. John was at the wedding. And I mentioned the Folds of Honor to John and said if we'd love to do a basketball event with a rival. And there's really only one rival, that's Hersey. And then Coach Scott got involved. And I got to give a lot of credit to both of those head coaches. They really galvanized together and decided to kind of drive the two games, the one here tomorrow night and the one January 25th at Prospect, and have this 6-week period be to raise fundraising for the Folds of Honor. I give those two guys a lot of credit.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to us and for being here and for everything that you guys do.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
That was an amazing interview. Thank you, Natalie and Folds of Honor. Up next, we got an interview with Olivia about an upcoming game with Scott and Coach Camberdilly.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Olivia, and here with me I have John Camardella, a proud 1999 Hersey alum, and we also have Austin Scott, and also a Hersey basketball coach. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great.
Okay, so here we have a proud Prospect coach and a Hersey coach, the ultimate rivalry, here to talk about their contribution with Folds of Honor. John, will you start us out?
Yeah, so last summer I talked with the father, Gary Latulip, of a couple of our former players, Mike and Joe. And when we were catching up, he told me that he had started getting involved with this group, Folds of Honor, to raise money for the children of fallen servicemen and women. And so I immediately thought of possibly partnering to try and do something around a basketball game. And the amount of respect I have for Austin and here at my alma mater, I thought it would be a perfect way for us to get involved and to do this between our two games.
Yeah, and Austin, what was your reaction when he first came to you to talk about this?
You know, it's funny. Everything Coach Camardella touches turns to gold. So I figured I'd jump on board and be a part of it with our guys. Obviously, we believe in the mission. It's something that we talk about as a unit all the time, is sacrificing for other people. So this mission is in harmony with that. And, you know, obviously Prospect Hersey is a great rivalry, and this is my introduction to it. And, you know, it couldn't happen in a more poignant way than starting with tomorrow night. So we're really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, and as Justin just just mentioned, the kickoff date for this fundraiser is starting tomorrow. But how exactly will you be raising this money? Is it like free throw? It's $1 or?
No, that's great. We started an online fundraising campaign. And so the real push is going to be between the Orange Crush and the Underground, our two student sections. And that's why we're doing it. So the slogan we have is Rivals in Sport, Partners in Purpose. So the fun part about it is that we each have our own fundraising site, and it's going to kick off tomorrow, and then it's going to go for 5 weeks between December 14th and January 25th. And then at the end, obviously a little healthy rivalry, and we're going to combine the money and make a donation on behalf of our two high schools.
And you'll be donating this to Folds of Honor, yes?
Yes. You know, I think we really embrace the competitive spirit of the rivalry and, you know, pitting Hersey and Prospect against each other in the fundraising competition, but ultimately unifying the fundraising efforts for one great cause. So as much as Hersey and Prospect love to compete, we're two high schools and two great communities looking to raise money for a single unified front.
And was this, was Folds of Honor the first thing that came to mind? Like, are you honored to be able to work with them and everything?
Yeah, so we've done some other fundraisers over the years, and we just felt this was the right time. We had the right contact with someone that I trusted and had a personal relationship with, and between that and our rivalries, it just seemed like it was a great opportunity this year to take a chance, and really excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome. So how else are you getting your teams motivated? Are you trying to putting up pictures of the other team and being like, that's your competition? Or
you know, with Hersey and Prospect, the motivation is really intrinsic. It's ingrained in these guys. They went to middle school together. They've been playing against each other for such a long time. It's you know, one of our focuses this week is just, you know, really enjoy the moment. And these are the games that you play high school basketball for, and these are the reasons we went back into coaching, to be a part of these moments, even though we don't get to wear uniforms anymore. It's as close as we could get, a couple of old guys like us.
Oh, so I'm guessing since Prospect and Hersey rivalry, are you guys going to be having your own basketball off?
If you set it up and you ref it, we'll do it one more time.
I will be there. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Don't forget, the kickoff for this event is tomorrow and ends on the 25th of January. Come out and support these two teams. Fight it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just kidding. We're not live. Okay, sorry. I'm just asking a question. What is tonight all about?
Tonight is all about bringing the Hersey community together to honor veterans. And to do it in a fun, spirited way. One of the things about the holidays is the concept of gratitude. And this year, at Hersey Honor, we honor the Folds of Honor, actually, which is an organization that provides scholarships for the fallen, Gold Star families, people that don't return from war. We've been a part of home builds in the past. We'll be a part of home builds again. But this year, we're gonna be gifting scholarships and be a part of gifting scholarships to families of kids and spouses, to people that have lost loved ones at war, and it reminds us to think about how grateful we are to be doing this kind of stuff.
How much does it take to make this event happen? Like, how much planning goes into it?
You know, the biggest thing about this event happening is teamwork. In no way, shape, or form can I even list the names of the people, you know, like Mrs. Monahan, you know, Mr. Kuhn speaking, DJ Ricker, Mr. Vesper, Mr. Capura, Mrs. Flickinger, Mr. Mandala, you know, Mr. Gunter, whatever you want to name. There's people that do so much. The maintenance crew that sets this up. I'm sure I missed 1,000 people. There's so many people that do this. Usually the teamwork is about 40 Hersey staff members that have something to do with this, and a few of them that really get together and do a lot. So it's teamwork.
How do Hersey and Folds of Honor come together to make tonight's fundraiser?
Came together because I'm a part of a group called Hometown Soldier, which is in many ways an extension of a soldier's journey home. And we're still supporting that crew as well. But we want to have a home build here so that more students can do more, and it'll be amazing, you know, having been to all of them and been a part of that. But this year we didn't finish our vetting process to have we wanted to build a house in Rolling Meadows, Arlington Heights. But the vetting's important, you got to do it right. So we didn't finish that. So we were working with Prospect on doing something fun, which is Rivals and Sport Partners in Purpose, and we're gonna have a competition with them. And because we didn't finish vetting, we almost did. I said, you know, we're not doing this, but we're going to still do good for veterans. So here we are.
So what's the next step?
The next step is to enjoy all of this, and tomorrow to enjoy our assembly and enjoy gifting Folds of Honor and some scholarship money, and to enjoy. I'm really excited, most excited tonight about the Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 311 and having those guys honored by students and by our community.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us and for everything that you do to make this
Thanks,
happen.
HTV. None of this happens without you guys. This is nothing. Hatfield is rock star.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mix. For more information on that, we're going to watch a video from our very own Hannah Graw.
For the past 4 years, Hersey has been an integral part of fundraising for Soldier's Journey Home. I can't even list the ways that kids have done, been a part of this project. However, things work so well, and the things that Hersey kids have done to be a part of it, it inspired us to start a group in Chicago called Hometown Soldier. And our goal was, and we will get there, building a home in, say, Rolling Meadows or Arlington Heights, and trying to imagine all the student participation, from the logo to the building the walls, to serving meals, the limits of student participation and the emotional attachment. Part of it wasn't just fundraising; it really was, philanthropic patriotism, whatever you want to call it. Definitely a rich experience for kids. We thought, let's do this. We can do it, and we're close. But the vetting process is complex. We didn't come close enough. And what Hersey does, we do the Gingerbuild, right? This is a holiday experience.
at the assemblies, that's where we do the gift and different things. So we still want to continue all the good student involvement in service work and holiday celebrations and Gingerbuild and continue this process, show freshmen what we do here, this time of year with what Hersey does with, military service work. So we decided that we had partnered with Folds of Honor, which is a wonderful, reputable, fantastic organization, and their function is to pay for scholarships for the fallen or Gold Star families, people who don't come home. There's a big price that families pay. And we thought, it's also a great learning opportunity for students. We build homes for those who come home and are struggling, and the other side. This year we're going to spend some time honoring the families of those who never make it back.
And one fateful night, my life would change forever. I was flying from Chicago here to Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was United Flight 664. Finally get on this airplane, I walk through first class, and I see this kid. He catches me off guard because he's a corporal sitting in dress army greens. And I go sit and coach, and about an hour and a half or so later, we land in Grand Rapids, Michigan. As we pull up to the gate, the captain comes over the PA and says that we have an American hero on board. And my mind immediately jumps to this kid in first class, right? And I was like, what did he do? I'd just gotten back from my second tour of duty in Iraq, flying the F-16, and he continues, the captain, by informing us that we are carrying the remains of Corporal Brock Buckland on this flight. And his identical twin brother, Corporal Brad Buckland, was in first class and has brought him those 7,000 miles home. Captain makes another request that everybody stay in their seats until his remains are removed from the right cargo hold. The thing that really got me, though, was his 4-year-old son. Sat right below the cargo ramp as that American flag draped coffin inched down. And the finality of the sacrifice hit me. The realities that this young boy would never play catch with his dad again. He would never be tucked in at night. And that term freedom isn't free didn't mean anything until I witnessed that. And as the ceremony finishes itself up, I wipe away my tears, right, and I grab my backpack and I look back to the airplane, only to see that more than half the plane had gotten off. No place to go, except that blanket of freedom we'll all sleep under each and every night, courtesy of 1% of this country that suits up every day, willing to defend and pay the ultimate sacrifice for the other 99%.
One of the reasons that we decided to support Folds of Honor was the integrity of the mission. Major Dan Rooney gives his speech and tells the story about his encounter on a plane with the Gold Star family and the 4-year-old who had lost his father. It's touching. And after watching that video, I felt a profound sense of, wow, an obligation and a sense of, it made me think about loyalty. It made me think about how lucky I am to have people that are loyal to me. It made me think about an obligation and a duty to be loyal to others, to fellows, multiple others, whether it's my family or friends or students, or just in a sense of patriotism. People that have served. And I always, one of the parts of this project, a key part of this project is the character bricks. And last year we had No Limitations, where we celebrated resilience, pieces of us that can't be taken away, that make us strong when things are tough. And this year we're going to celebrate loyalty, what it means to be loyal, and take some time out of the busy, stressful, crazy schedule and reflect on things that matter most to all of us. The pieces that can't be taken away from us. That to be proud of being loyal to your fellows, to your family, to your friends, to your country. And again, take some time away from that resume and think about those things that can't be taken from us. And that's it.
Here we go. We got Molly Mix here, 8-year-old Molly Mix. She's going to sing you a new song.
Please keep sending them in. Next, we're going to have an interview with Claire and Olivia.
Hi, welcome back to me. And also now I have with me special guest Claire Lutz. So Claire, what year in school are you?
I'm a senior.
And what activity are you participating with tonight? Very nice.
I'm the Hersey girls swim and dive and water polo team.
Now, is it true that you are not only captain of the swim team, but also the water polo team?
That is true, yes.
All right, so how many years have you been going to the Gingerbuild? Just 1 year, or is this like last or whatever?
This is going to be my 3rd year coming to the Gingerbread Build.
And has swim come anywhere close to winning?
I would like to think so, but I would have to say no.
Well, I was looking over at your station and I did see some Mariah Carey photos. Is it true that Mariah Carey is making a special feature in your gingerbread house?
I mean, I've called her, emailed her numerous times, still haven't gotten a response. Fingers crossed that Mariah makes an appearance today for the house that we made her.
It's truly beautiful. Now, what's out of your 3 years that you've been doing this, what is your favorite part about the Gingerbuild?
I love how like competitive it gets, but like it's so funny too, because like the boys swim team and us will like compete with each other, and our houses are both trash, but it's really nice that we can all just come together for this one day to support someone else and just have fun.
Yeah, so how does it feel comparing doing something for a single soldier, whether now to a cause of people who have lost, to our lost soldiers? How does that feel knowing that you're contributing to that?
Well, I know that like this goes towards like scholarships for children of fallen soldiers and someone who is looking for scholarships and knowing friends who are struggling financially to pay for college. It's really, really nice to know that there's a much stronger connection between us and the person that we're helping.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And how does it feel being with your swim team, your alma mater, back here after sectionals, after state? How did all that shake out?
It shook out really, really well. It was really, really fun, and I'm so glad that we could get our team back together because I have so much fun with my girls.
All right, well, I hope you guys take that Mariah Carey win, and I hope that those pictures get you farther, because if not, you might as well just sing All I Want for Christmas Is You, baby.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Go have fun.
Thank you, Olivia and Claire, for that interview. Next up, we're going to have another video from Folds of Honor on scholarships.
After he passed away, a lot of people would always say that he was the kind of guy that when he walked in the room, you knew you wanted to meet him.
My dad, he meant a lot to me. He was everyone's hero, including mine.
A couple months before he passed away, he just said, you know, go make someone's day today.
He was all-out patriotic man, loved America, everything about it.
I'm so proud of my dad. It's a hard story to tell, but I love talking about him because, you know, his story just shows his character so much.
He's shown how brave he is and how much he loves this country, and it's amazing. I'm so proud of him for doing it.
Being a Folds of Honor Scholarship recipient means more than just furthering my education. It means honoring the values that my father believed in so wholeheartedly.
My dad would be so proud of me and my sister for going to college and getting our degrees and just not giving up.
There was always one thing that he had told me, and that was, before I ever do anything in life, go to college, graduate from college. It'll set you out from everybody else.
I know that it was always my dad's dream for me to go to college, and so it really is an awesome thing that, you know, I am where I am today, and I know that, you know, without the Folds of Honor that maybe I wouldn't have been able to fulfill that dream.
To all the people that help with the mission of Folds of Honor and all the sponsors that make it possible, I want to say thank you so much for making my dream possible and my education a priority.
People are actually thinking about other people, and it makes me happy.
To be able to have that support, to know that that is there for us, is just amazing.
Thank you, Folds of Honor, for everything.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you, Folds of Honor.
We've got about 20 minutes left in this Gingerbuild, but we're going to send it over to Olivia with the next interview. It's going to be with Mr. Novak.
Okay, I'm here with Mr. Novak. So what makes this fundraiser special and different from all the other fundraisers at Hersey?
It's just a fun time, you know. The kids get together and do this, and they have a lot of fun trying to decide how they want to build it and what they want to do, and they come here and they just let it go and have a great time. I think it has a lot to do with the season too. You know, everybody's just in a good mood, and it's a good feeling to be in a holiday mood and still give back at the same time.
Okay, so there's a basketball game going on soon, and it's part of the whole fundraiser process. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Tomorrow night we host Prospect here. The girls are at 6 and the boys are at 7:30. Our coach, Coach Scott, and the coach at Prospect, John Camardella, who's a Hersey graduate, they got together and they wanted to be a part of doing something for Folds of Honor. So they've come up with this idea where they're calling it Rivals in Sport, Partners in Purpose. And we're trying to raise awareness for Folds of Honor and get more people involved. We just tweeted out where people can go to give and donate to this. So we have that game here at Hersey tomorrow, and then on January 25th, we go over to Prospect, and Prospect is going to promote that as well to try to keep things going.
Okay, thank you so much, and that was amazing. And yes, that's all.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 15 minutes before the judging concludes. 15 minutes before the judging concludes. If you are still working, please continue to work. If you are wrapping up, please start cleaning up. We would like to leave this place the way we found it. 15 minutes before judging concludes.
All right, we only got about 15 minutes left in the 2018 Gingerbuild, but for right now, we're going to send it to our next interview with Olivia and Vesper.
The rare times when the kids just get to have fun.
Yeah. Okay, hi, you're back with me, and here with me I have Mr. Vesper, the handsome Brooks, and the lovely Maeve. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Are you guys having fun? Yeah.
So, Mr. Vesper, were you around when this Gingerbuild first started?
Yeah, it was 5 years ago, and Mr. Mix and his crazy brain came up to me and just kind of said, what do you think about doing a gingerbread house contest? And the first thought was, okay, not really thinking it would be anything like this. But when Mix has a passion for something and has a group of kids that know how to make things fun, which he does, he makes it big and he makes it happen. And it's become something that I honestly never thought it would have been, but it's all because of Mix's amazing brain.
Yeah, how does it compare going from that first year to now we're here with a room filled with veterans and making such a great cause that is bigger than the first year probably?
Yeah, the first year we were in the cafeteria and we had no idea what we were doing. We just kind of signed kids up and bought houses and figured it out as we went, and now we're 5 years in and we're still trying to figure stuff out because it keeps getting bigger. And but having all of the actual veterans here and actually building homes for the veterans, it brings a lot more to it. It's a ton of fun for Hersey kids and the community, but to actually attach it to the people that make our freedom possible makes it so much better.
And how does it feel not only having students here and other staff members and Vietnam vets, but also having your family with you to see something that you helped create, you know, and you started?
Hersey in general is an unbelievably busy school. The staff, the kids were overly worked and overly exhausted, so it's very refreshing to see a night where the kids and the staff and their families can just spend an hour and a half just relaxing and having fun and goofing around and, for lack of a better phrase, like just being kids, which in our world where we're nothing but dual credit and getting kids ready for college, it's cool to just see kids be kids.
And I know this year we started with a new company of Folds of Honor, you know, and started with a new group. So how does it feel helping a different type of organization compared to the past, like 4 years where we have helped soldiers journey home and stuff like that?
To me, they're all amazing organizations. They're all amazing men and women that are all trying to help other amazing men and women. So to me, as long as the money is going to people that are helping the veterans that have helped create our country and keep our country safe and free, to me it doesn't really matter. All I know is that Folds of Honor is a wonderful organization. All the other ones that we've worked with have been wonderful as well.
Well, thank you so much, Maeve. I know you're trying to steal your dad's spotlight, and we're going to let you. So thank you so much for talking to us, and truly what you do and starting this is, and although you say it's only mixed, you had a big part in making this here today.
Miss Monahan, those were the two that did everything.
Well, trust me, we appreciate you just as much. Thank you so much for even talking to us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Maeve and Brooks, do you have anything to say?
Can you say ho, ho, ho? He says ho, ho.
He's silent but deadly, I know. Good. It's silent ones are going to be the killers. It's going to be great with the ladies. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia and Vesper, for that interview. Up next, we got an interview with Natalie and Kuhn.
Okay, Mr. Kuhn, you really seem to be enjoying yourself. So how many years have you been doing this, and have you been a part of the entire Gingerbuild?
Well, I was just kind of nonchalantly involved in some of the very preliminary talks of how the whole soldier's journey, Gingerbuild, you know, how this all unfolded from the very beginning, just kind of as a bystander. And, you know, I work with Coach Mix in a couple capacities in the building, so I just, you know, just lended my hand and asked them how could I help in any which way form. I've been here just kind of being the MC every year so far. Every year we've done the second. This is year 3 or 4 now.
Okay. What is your favorite part?
My favorite part is, honestly, this is very selfish, getting a chance to be a fool on this thing right here and trying to get other people to kind of bust out of their shell a little bit. It enjoys me to see people want me to say one thing, and then when I confront them with the microphone, they act completely different. I think I get a lot of joy out of that, on top of the fact that I like to see everybody get together and really just come for a good cause and just enjoy themselves for an hour.
Okay, so you're emceeing the whole thing, but if you were making a gingerbread house, how would you design it?
Well, you know, honestly, like the football team that we have over here every year, they come, they show up. A little disappointed with their performance tonight. It turned in more to a fiasco, but honestly, I would probably want to go football thing, maybe make a stadium type thing, a bleacher type thing, a locker room type house. Try to, you know, because when these judges are picking, they want something original. So I would try to make it original but done well. Yes, original but done well, of course.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Yeah.
Before we leave, there's one more message for Gingerbuild 2018. Happy holidays from Molly Mix, everybody.
We got another 8 minutes left in this Gingerbuild, and we're gonna send it over to Olivia and Trace Schmidt for the next interview.
Just give me a count off. Okay, hi. I'm here with the one and only Trace Schmidt, the varsity soccer captain. Obviously, you're a senior, so how does it feel to be at the Gingerbuild this year?
Really important. I mean, supporting our program this year to get everyone out. I mean, it's a tradition that it's going to be happening for a while. So.
And how many years have you been going to the Gingerbuild?
This is my first year actually. So I mean, we had a team last year, but it didn't do so well. So I decided to help out this year and make it a little better.
Yeah, step up as a captain and take home the trophy. Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your design? Because I've been hearing it's a big winner here.
So we decided to go with a traditional stadium effect. We have our stands on each side and in our field. And we decided to go against the rivalry Barrington, and we're up magically. I don't know how that's happening, but there's a minute left, and we just scored, and Darren Llewellyn, our old coach, is going crazy because, you know, that's him. And we've got our amazing scoreboard with our top-of-the-class disco ball on top of it. Ooh, that's the main attraction right there. And then we've got our Orange Crush fan section with the Orange Sour Patch Kids. So, I mean, we got some good heart there, and then we have both pictures of the boys and girls varsity teams.
Oh, it's great that you're incorporating boys and girls. And, I mean, this backstory is really drawing me in. So I think you guys, in my book, you're runner for first place.
Thank you, thank you.
So I see that you do have a lot of teammates here tonight. Were you one of the people who were scouting people out, or was it just like an all-team effort, like everyone wanting to pull together and do this?
It was an all-team effort tonight. We decided to do it a couple days ago. We realized we got to get our names out there to support Hersey soccer and start this new program up.
Yeah, and you just concluded your season, yes?
Yes.
And how did that end? How did it go? I heard you guys were doing great this season.
Yes. So we ended up 10-4-3. We lost a devastating playoff loss to Evanston, but they made it to the sectional, so I mean it's not too bad. But this year was a turnaround. We had a bunch of seniors, a bunch of leaders that helped the younger guys, and I believe that our leadership just took over and helped everyone really.
Well, it's great that we have you here to support not only the Gingerbuild, but to be a true captain. And, you know, even though it's your first and last, you might be taking home that gold for your last one.
So, taking one home medal. Let's go.
All right, well, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
have where you can donate.